Hey everyone, welcome to Ian and Friends Giro d'Italia edition. I am FloBikes Senior Editor Ian Dilley.
And I am Michael Sheehan, Ian's friend. Today we are going to talk about stage 11 of the Giro d'Italia.
Yeah, so today started, as most of these days, with a breakaway, although this one was insanely strong. Luis Leon Sanchez, Alessandro De Marchi, and Fausto Masnada, who was the last man standing on the Gran Sasso stage on Sunday. Even Adam Yates, who ended up winning the stage, we'll get to that, said he thought the breakaway was going to stick it. I mean, Luis Leon Sanchez was just taking insane pulls.
He is a tank. Man, if there was like one rider in the peloton that I could look like on a bike, it's Luis Leon Sanchez. He looks so smooth and is just so strong, and it was one of those situations, I think, where he was a little bit too strong for the people he was riding with. He rode two guys off his wheel at the base of the climb, the Willier and Bardiani riders. And yeah, but at the end, another day for Yates.
Yeah, I mean, everything culminated in the last 5K, as we sort of talked about yesterday. Just a super exciting finish.
How about Stybar?
Yeah, it was a classics finish, you know. They hit even the climbs, you know, these like 300-meter climbs had names. They hit the Muro, the cobbled 16% climb, and yeah, Stybar went nuts.
Yeah, Stybar saw cobbles, and he's like, ooh, I can do this. And Stybar went so hard. Wellens was the only rider who was able to essentially get up to him, and it looked like they were clear. I seriously, I would have put money with 2K to go that they were going to stay away.
Yeah, I mean, just this really exciting descent off of that climb through this old town. Those two were just railing the corners, actually working pretty well together. And they had almost a 10-second gap when they hit the base of the final climb to the line, which I think was a lot longer than maybe people expected. I mean, this climb was almost a mile long.
Yeah, and again, I've got to say, MVP, just teammate of the race award, goes to Jack Haig, who is just proving himself to be such a capable right-hand man to Simon Yates for Mitchelton Scott. He, again, just took that descent, kept Wellens and Stybar right there, and set it up perfectly for the GC guys to make it a GC day.
Yeah, I mean, to have the versatility to be the last guy, you know, driving the pace on a mountaintop finish like Gran Sasso, and then also have the technical ability to bring back two of the best classics racers in the world
on a descent
at the Giro is just phenomenal. And all the heads of state were right there. Pozzovivo, Dumoulin, Davide Formolo was up in there, Conrad. All the GC guys were definitely on their A game, except for Chris Froome, maybe a little bit too far back.
Yeah, so, you know, we were speculating a bit about what could have happened to Chris Froome. There was a gap at the base of the final climb, and Chris Froome just found himself in the wrong group about 3 to 5 seconds off the pace, and we saw Sergio Henao on the deck at the base of the climb. We're wondering if maybe there was just a touch of wheels in front of the Sky Riders, and that's maybe what caused the split that cost Chris Froome more time today. We're not sure. Also could just be more bad legs from him. We don't know. Yeah,
3.5 minutes back now. Adam Yates was asked if he still considers Froome a contender, a challenger. He said yes. I am saying Froome is still in this bike race, not out of it yet. We've seen crazier things happen, and Chris Froome is still Chris Froome.
We've seen crazier things happen. If you will remember, he is my pick for the pink jersey at the end of this tour, though, and I'm sweating. I'm sweating right now. I'm not feeling worse and worse by the day.
I mean, the fact that, I guess, to sort of dilute my own point, the fact that he's losing time stage in and stage out. It's not like he just had one bad day and lost 3 minutes. This is a cumulative of like 30 seconds here, 45 seconds there, almost a minute today. So
he's bleeding.
Yeah.
And then, Simon Yates.
Yeah, we should talk about Simon Yates.
Again, managed to turn this into, we were thinking it would be a kick to the line with the likes of Wellens and Woods, but no real damage done overall. Yates went and turned it into a GC day again.
Yeah, no, he blew past Wellens on the pitch of that final climb. Like, Wellens was standing still. Dumoulin was the only one really that was able to take up the chase, was kind of caught in between no man's land between a select group of favorites and Yates. And poor Dumoulin, he was within touching distance of Yates and just could not bring him back. Even when they got on those sort of false flat stretches, like this real sort of power-intensive cobbled false flat where you thought that Dumoulin would have just clawed Yates back but could not catch him.
Yeah, just the sheer power and cadence that Yates was turning over that entire kick up to the line. We got some numbers that for the last minute and 6 seconds, Simon Yates did 560 watts. And considering he is a small little fella, that's quite a lot. And yeah, great ride by Tom Dumoulin to just limit his losses. We've kind of gotten used to the side over the last handful of years of just seeing Dumoulin tacked onto the back of these little tiny climbers, just kind of like holding on for dear life, making his very large time trial or frame go uphill faster than you think it could.
Yeah.
And he's getting better and better at it, and he really, really limited his loss as well today.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's so great to see him fight and not just, sit back and know that he's going to be able to take some time out of these guys in the TT. Everybody is fighting for every single second in these stages. That brings us to the point we were talking about the other day, which is, are these efforts going to cost Yates at in the third week of these races? Trying to get time at every little time bonus at the end of every stage. And our FloBikes correspondent Gregor Brown actually talked to Yates about that. And Yates said maybe, but he didn't really care. If he implodes in the third week, so be it. But he thinks that he needs 2 minutes or more on Dumoulin going into the TT next Tuesday.
Yeah, and Ian and I are just really kind of scratching our heads about what kind of a TT we're going to be seeing from Yates on Tuesday after the rest day.
Yeah, we did some intensive research.
Yeah, lots of digging through past TT results, and he's really downplaying his time trial, but the results that we're seeing, he can be there or thereabouts. He says that he needs 2 minutes, which I'd say like 2 minutes is a comfortable buffer, but if he's on a good day, he could probably lose as low as 30 seconds every 10 kilometers to Dumoulin, which really doesn't, over the 35K TT, that isn't going to be that big of a deficit.
Yeah, we looked at 2 TTs that Yates had done of similar length and time in his past Grand Tours. So at the Tour de France last year, he only lost a minute and a half to Chris Froome in the final TT, and Yates actually won the Young Riders jersey and was 7th overall in that Tour de France. Now, that was a super technical TT, not a real traditional time trial. It had a big hill in it. Now, in 2016, when Yates was 6th at the Vuelta, he did lose almost 4 minutes to Chris Froome in a time trial, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So if he hemorrhages 3 minutes and 45 seconds to Dumoulin, that's going to be hard to take back in that third week in those mountain stages.
Yeah, that'll be end of days, but just the way that Yates is riding right now, I'm not seeing too many chinks in the armor yet.
Yeah, only 20 seconds down in that opening TT in Jerusalem.
Yeah. So, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
What are we looking at?
Tomorrow is going to be ostensibly a sprint stage, although there is a little bump right at the end, category 4 climb, and then sort of a descent down into the finish. So
yeah, a little bit of a ramp before the finish, but for all intents and purposes, looks like it's going to be a sprinter's affair. That being said, I'm just going to go ahead and say I think that Simon Yates is going to attack and get some more time.
At this point, I would not count against it. I would like to pick Jakub Marecko. Unfortunately, he's no longer in the bike race, so I'm going to go with Viviani. I think he was definitely sort of saving himself for today. I'm sure he had sort of the next sprint stage where he could pick up a win. He's been eyeing it all week, so he'll be hard to beat. But Sam Bennett could be right there for sure.
Yeah, time will tell. Do tune into FloBikes to check it out.
Yep, stage 12. We will see you guys afterward.
Thanks for joining.